Hey, what's happening, my fam? How y'all feeling out there today? This Boots coming back at y'all with another Nixot review. And today, before I jump into the Vanilla Custard, um, I wanted to answer dude's question that he sent. Cause like I'm not doing this shit for likes or like subscription or nothing like that, but um, I definitely would like to engage in conversation about any of this shit. Uh, so if you ever want to just have anything to say or any questions, man, just throw it out there and everyone have a fucking a chat on the shit. That's what I would like. So rather than just send this dude a DM back, I'd like to just answer it to have it out there because it's a pretty good question. Dude said his name or their name is six tray nine way faux twiz. He said, or they said, how you get a good review when you mix menthol in your carts. And yeah, that would be a valid question to ask if I did cross contaminate my carts with menthol, because you definitely wouldn't be able to get a solid, accurate review if you were just like adding menthol in and out of your carts and shit. Most definitely. So, what I do is, what I do is I just I buy, like for my bow and for my Soaring Air, I buy carts for like individual, like for my juices. You feel me? Like the bow carts are like back there. You feel me? Like, and they're just with different shit in them. Like this one happens to be grappleberry. This one's vanilla custard. And so like what I do is when I get them new, I just assign it to one cart and I never add anything else to it. So like when I'm reviewing orange mango guava, like that's the only thing that's ever been ran through that air cartridge. And the way I do it is I fill up the cartridge and I do like some dry hits with my thumb over the battery so that it like wets the cotton real good, and then I do some dry hits, and then excuse me, and then I do some dry hits, and I make sure that the liquid is in the cartridge for like at least like a half an hour to an hour before I start hitting it. And the way that I review it is I wait until the morning because I don't vape overnight. And so like in the morning after I like do a good teeth brushing and floss and use a mouthwash that neutralizes my palate, I'll do like just a couple, like one or two, like two warm-up hits to make sure my air in my bow is running properly, and to sort of like warm up my throat and my lungs. And then I that's when I crank out a review. So I'd like to think that I'm just getting like fresh, like fresh on the palate and through the cartridge every time. And that works for me. I feel like if you're not reviewing that way, then you're probably doing it wrong. I don't know. That's just me, though. So, I mentioned vanilla custard. I'm not even sure if you can. I might need some. I should have turned on the light for this. But, excuse me, I mentioned vanilla custard in my Oops review, like yesterday. And I thought I should probably do a rundown on vanilla custard because it's probably the most unique juice that they offer in a way. Like, on the other hand, it's like honestly one of the blandest juices they do. So there's like a definite yin and yang to the shit. Like, it's kind of like top dog and like fucking the the other end of the spectrum at the same time, in my opinion, which is pretty fucking cool. I can't think of any other juice that I associate with off the top. I mean, there's not. Vanilla Custard is the only one I think of like that. When you dry hit it, it's about as unremarkable as a juice can get, even more so than blackberry. There's like literally nothing, like no sweetness, no flavor. Just, I mean, it's pretty much like air. Um, it's a very lung expanding, but a very, very, very smooth experience. It's about the most chill vape that I can think of. It's just super, super mellow. As far as like mellow and chill, it's at the top of the pecking order. It's the top of the hierarchy, in my opinion. For flavor, it's like near the bottom, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because Vanilla Custard is kind of like the Shang Tsung of Mr. Salty's liquid. I mean, it can morph and enhance like any juice that you throw at it, like literally any juice. I could give at least like 10 fucking examples off the top of my head. I mean, I actually will. I mix it with blackberries to make like blackberry and cream. I mix it with mixed berries. Again, like, since mixed berries is like blueberry heavy, so it's kind of like blueberries and cream. I'll mix 1/3 vanilla custard, 1/3 strawberry custard, and 1/3 peppermint patty, and that's kind of like a mint chocolate Neapolitan ice cream flavor that I've put together. The peanut butter cookies for like a peanut butter milk juice. Fucking put it in cannoli, and it like mellows out the like sickeningly sweet notes that are real heavy in cannoli. And since it's such a thick viscosity juice, it helps the cannoli perform well, which is like a thin, airy juice, in my opinion. It makes it like a lot more dense, a lot more enjoyable, in my opinion. An even better one is like 1/3 cannoli, 1/3 grams, and 1/3 vanilla custard, and that makes it like a fucking like a vanilla cannoli with the graham cracker and cinnamon dust, like graham cracker crumbling and cinnamon dust flavor at the finish, and that's like a fucking unbelievable juice concoction right there. Like I said, my last review, I added to Oops to like mellow out the menthol and like make it a little more smooth and more like a more well producing vape. Because because it consistently performs well. Like, it's such a smooth, mellow juice that it's really easy to chain vape, in my opinion. And another reason it's real easy to do that is because even though it's really low on flavor, it's not like a very dynamic juice at all. It's not multifaceted like the munchies or orange mango guava or something like that. But at the same time, there's the nicotine level. Even though it's 45 milligrams, it like overrides the nicotine characteristics in the juice somehow, because it's not very sweet and it's not like pungent, strong odor. It just, the way that the juice is, it just takes away the nicotine profile. So if you're not a big fan of like intense throat hits and like burning lung hits, or if you're, and especially not a fan of a strong nicotine profile, then you'll fucking love the Vanilla Custard by itself. But I mean, you can mix it with so many things. Like speaking of munchies, you can hit munchies with Vanilla Custard, and it gives it like a wet cereal. Like it tastes like fucking Fruit Loops and milk, or Fruity Pebbles and milk. So I mean, there's fucking, I mean, literally anything you throw at it, it'll vibe well with. And it's like a potentiator juice. Like everything that you add it to, it enhances the vape production, the vape quality of it, because it's such a well performing juice. So is it worth it? Fuck yeah. This should be in everybody's collection. Like, this is like mandatory Mr. Salty juice right here. So I hope that helps. I hope people check out this review, because Vanilla Custard, it's like low-key dank as fuck. It's not a very high profile juice, but it should be. It should be in everybody's collection. Awesome juice. Cheers, everybody.